everybody, YouTube, Facebook, Discord, whatever you're on. Thanks for following. This is Serpent from the DCS Huey and Joint Helicopter Operations Group, as well as obviously the Flight Sim Adventures page. So, DCS got a new map today, and you're going to take the first ride with me on the new map. This is the South Atlantic early access map from Razbam. Of course, I have to fly the Harrier on this map. Kind of necessary, I think. We'll do some low-level stuff later on, but this is going to be more of a see how it performs, and so far it looks really cool. Early morning, we're on the very south end of Chile, and by the heliport I'm not even going to try to pronounce. But we're going to fly up and around the this section up here, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it will perform okay, and we'll be able to enjoy this really cool sunrise together and have some fun along the way. I know there's some talk about the map having some stuttering issues and things like that, which I don't fly VR. I'm on a fairly older system, 1080 GTX with 16 gigs of RAM, so we'll see how it goes. I mean, if it stutters with me, it'll be the first time you're seeing it. Same with me, so here we go. Let's just turn this over here to HUD. I'm not carrying anything except for gas on this little joyride here, so I think we'll be fine for that. Let's put that on daytime mode so we can see that HUD a little better. I will say this: I'm pretty happy to not see just a brown tan desert map finally. This is going to be really fun, I think, to simulate some really cool areas, as well as just be fun to fly in. It's hard to beat it, really. It's just, and they've already said, the developers already said that they're going to be updating the textures for these mountains. In time. This thing is huge. I think I measured it just across the map. It was like 1,700 miles from one end to the other. So that absolutely massive. We're gonna have to do some tanking on this one, I think. Let's not get too far up in the air here. Let's keep it to where we can see what's going on down here. And apparently there's orca that you can find in the water, so there's a fun challenge to go find. Just might brighten this down a little bit here. This one. There we go. That's not so fuzzy. A lot of cool valleys by the looks of it. So far, I mean, it's performing fine on my end on this old system, so I don't I imagine it's probably much more stressful on the VR users, and rightfully so. Those systems tend to be taxed a lot harder. Getting a little bit of jitter every now and then here lower down, but not too bad. It's really cool seeing a lot of forested areas too down here, so that's going to be open up a lot of possibility for forestry operations and things like that for the Huey group, as well as others. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff to do with that. But let's, I think instead of going all the way to waypoint 1, we're going to jump ahead a little bit. Let's go to waypoint 2. And put the sun to work back a little bit and see what it looks like over here. Looks like they at least got the map updated in the MFDs, so that's nice. You would hope so, being a Razbam module, that they would have the the map already ready to go for their module, so that's good. Yeah, nice clouds. I'm going to pause the video for a moment so we can get a little further down the coastline. We're now heading back towards the west end of the map, so we'll our west corner of that. We'll make our way north and then head towards the airport to the north there, up the fjords, and see how it looks over there. So I think that'll be really cool. Be right back. Alright guys, I'm back here. Now we're back on course for a northern waypoint here, just to get up the way a little bit. This one's a long ways off. We'll follow it for a little while anyway. And now we're heading north of the airport we started off, which is actually over there in that bay. Keep in mind this is almost the very southern end of the map as far as land goes. A lot of cool mountain ranges and fjords, and of course, you know, the textures need some work, but that's going to come in later. Hopefully they add seasons to this map. I think that would be really cool. I hear the weather down here is pretty bad, to say the least, for the most part of the year, so it'll be really neat to see how it plays out with being able to use the cool weather presets that DCS offers to make this pretty uninhabitable, I should say. And I will do a separate video for the Falklands Islands, because it's just a whole other part of the map, and even further north, really. I'll do some other separate pieces. There's a cool glacier down there. Looks really good from this high up. I mean, I don't know what it's going to look like down low flying helicopters, but that's really cool. See a little bit of a terrain texture doubling there, but it's not too bad. Let's avoid this mountain here. Above 6,000 feet. Is that blue down there? Hmm. Interesting. That's a cool little lake down there. That's neat. A lot of fjords and glacier carved waterways, I'm sure. Kind of reminds me of Norway a bit. When I visited there, that was really neat. That's really cool. These are going to be really neat to fly the helicopters around in. And being such a large map, I mean, you can use, you know, a quarter of it for a campaign and then change it up to a different part of the map and have a whole different feel to it. So I think that's going to be really cool and something that we need in DCS for sure. And it's different than anything else we have in DCS for sure. Completely different side of the world. Quite happy with that. That's really cool. Nice sun there. Let's see. I'm gonna jump outside and try to grab some screenshots here. Hopefully it doesn't get too loud. Sorry if that was really loud for folks. You've been warned. We're taking a look at this map together for the first time, so I'm gonna gotta get the eye candy a little bit too. These glaciers into the fjords are really cool. Not gonna lie. That's too cool. That's our gas. 8,000. I think we are gonna go ahead and pop up waypoint 4. See how far away that is. There we go, 116 miles. Not sure what's the deal with the blue on the mountains, but maybe that's just a lighting effect currently with the conditions. That's bright. Alright, I'm going to pause the recording for a moment to get a little bit further up the mountain range here, and we'll get back to it here momentarily. Be right back. Okay guys, so I was had to get some altitude here to save some gas, but I had to I've seen these really cool little blue ponds down here that we got to check out. mountain glacier ponds. It's cool. They got the trees on the side there too, up even in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, I guess those are supposed to be like little ice melt ponds, even though they're not level. That's kind of cool. I had to get a little bit altitude on to save a little gas to get a little bit further north. Keep in mind this map is gigantic, so definitely fuel is going to be a commodity that you'll want to manage. And let's skim this coastline here just to see what it looks like. Turn on the red out. One thing I've noticed that, I mean, hey, we've been flying for nearly 20 minutes, a little bit longer than 20 minutes, and because of we're so far south that the sun hasn't really climbed much, we're just rotating around the horizon. So the golden hour that we all love in DCS because it looks amazing on this map will last a lot longer, if not the whole session, depending on the time of the year, it seems. So that's really cool. So yeah, that'll be a neat aspect, of course, and for screenshots, that'll be spectacular. Let's. I'll show you guys on the map at the end of the video what whereabouts I'm flying, and so you have an idea what the areas that you're seeing actually look like. Is that a boat? Oh, just a little island. Ooh, that's bright. Hello. I think we're going to have to climb up to get some better fuel economy here. Let's get back on track to our waypoint here. That's at an airport we can actually refuel at, because this is the one thing I've noticed on this map is there's not a whole lot of airports, which I suppose is probably realistic. But for the fuel-hungry jets, it's not going to be ideal without dropping a carrier somewhere, which is going to be cool because there's a lot of water and fjords that you can drive those in, so that'll be neat. So far, I mean, it's not giving me too many issues with performance-wise. I mean, my settings are fairly mid-level. Yeah, I had some issues on the Syria map where I had a lot of stuttering issues with this aircraft. In fact, that made it a little bit harder to use for a while, but it seemed like it got optimized. And hopefully this one will as well for those that are using VR. Obviously, it's not perfect yet. I mean, it's day one. None of the modules in DCS are perfect at day one. If they were, it wouldn't be it wouldn't be what we have now. We can dream though, right? Yeah, it looks like the sun's finally getting a little higher. So that was probably a 30-minute sunrise that we've had. That's really cool. That's going to be a lot of fun to fly in. But I'm going to pause the recording for a bit and catch up with you when we get a little closer to the waypoint. Alright, welcome back again. Sorry for the breaks like that. I'm just trying to keep the video within a manageable size as well as time frame. I don't want to be sitting here flying for an hour just looking at me doing nothing. I did have to get above 30,000 feet to get a little better on gas. That way we can make our approach into this next airport. The next closest airport, I should say, on the mainland. Almost 100 miles away from the where I started. Well, almost 200 miles away from where I started. You can see the differences in the terrain now, getting a little bit closer. I think it's called Porta Arenas, maybe, is where we're headed. And then obviously I'm going to butcher the names of places on this map, as I do on most of the maps. The big difference in the textures over here, now that we're getting a little bit further away from the taller mountains, is a lot of green. We'll have to do this in full daytime, summer daytime, and see what it looks like a little bit better when it's lit from above. But I wanted to do the light a little bit softer for this video. At least hopefully that works out for everybody else on the screen. So. I haven't seen any orcas yet, but I'm sure they're there. Eventually I'll get lucky enough to find out where they hide. The coloration on the ground textures looks really cool here. A lot of grains and dirt, so it makes it look like it's an actual location, not just the same green everywhere. So that's pretty cool. Looks like we're coming into Porto Arenas city. See what these urban areas look like. We'll have to fly through it with the helicopter. I'll admit, guys, we'll do this with the Huey. Not too bad, though. Doesn't look bad. It looks different than most maps, so that's a plus. Not as much of the cookie cutter stuff that we see on some of the others. It's well, you got to do what you got to do. I mean, there's so many 3D models on these maps. it's going to happen. There's no way you're getting a model, 3D model every little building. So, got it. Hats off to those developers that make these things. This is tons of work. Um, and here we do just get to fly on it. And of course, they have the F-15 Strike Eagle that's coming out soon, hopefully soon. That looks like a lot of fun, as well as the Corsair from Mag 3. So hopefully we'll have some really cool stuff this year in DCS. After of course, everybody's still enjoying the Apache quite a bit. So I'm really liking that one. We'll fly that around here soon. Looks like here's the airport I'm going to. And we got gas for a while yet, so we'll just circle this area and take a little bit more look at things, and then come back. There's the yellow markings that we were told about from other videos, and due to the snow that gets accumulated here in the winter, they have to put markings on the runway in yellow so you can actually see it. So that's pretty cool. Attention to detail is always a bonus when you get to these maps and things. Little industrial area. See if we get any issues down low here with the frame rates. Hasn't been too bad. I haven't seen any sheep yet. I think that's more common on the Falkland Islands from what one of the other videos I saw was talking about. Hide my pilot so I can see. Stop some fuel. I'm so glad they got that model now. That looks so much better when you can actually see the fuel dumping off. And we'll start getting ready for landing here once that gets ready to get us down to a level of which we can land. This is going to be one of my longer videos, I think. Yeah, it probably was needed, though. I mean, it's hard to see what you can show in only a handful of minutes. If you watch through this whole video, then bravo to you. I know this is something that a lot of folks are wanting to see if they want to buy the map, and you know, what it's going to use. I think right now it's on sale. So that's good. I like that. Helped a little bit. It's not typical DCS module though. It's none of it's cheap, but we do fly the best sim out there, so you gotta pay for it a little bit. Of course, take my opinion with a grain of salt there. But where else can we fly a Harrier in the Falklands? Let's buzz the airport here while we're dumping fuel and take a look at it. A lot of neat little hangars, a bunch of different colored buildings, which apparently is a real thing down here. They, with an issue with the paint supply or something, that they couldn't, had to use some really random colors on buildings, so that's kind of a neat touch. Alright, let's get ready for landing here. If this is as high as the sun gets in September, on the map, this is where I'm built up, put it on September. That'll be really interesting to see if the sun even comes up at all in the December, January time frame. Looks like I overshot a little bit. It's not easy to see, that's for sure. So we're putting a waypoint and tack-in on the runways is always handy. Not my best landing, but hey, we'll take it. Still a little heavier than I like to. I like to land around 1,400 pounds, so I I can't complain there. Not too bad. So let me know what you think of the map, what your experiences are so far, and thanks for taking the ride with me. And look forward to building some cool missions as well as just having fun on this map. Have a good one, everybody.